we're going to learn how to powerfully tell a story the way a leader would tell a story so that they can get the power out of their relationship with people, okay? So you're going to walk away from this little session that we're going to be doing right now much more effective in your ability to tell a story and impact people, okay? This is a good thing. That's what Martha Stewart said. This is a good thing. Okay, so values are the vitamins. Stories are the water. That's your transport mechanism, okay? So we're now going to take a look at, well, what is it that actually is the construct of a well-told story, okay? In terms of your values, it wants to have these hallmarks to it. First of all, it's personal. So, you know, when Dave stood up and he started to talk about integrity, and he started talking about y'all and you and everything, and I stopped because I want Dave to tell his story, his personal story. On the other hand, what's your name? Gene. When Gene stood up and told his story, it was so personal that he was moved by it. You got that? And his being moved by it touched me and moved many of us in the room, okay? If you don't get moved by people's love for another human being, then, you know, you don't belong in this business, for one thing. You know, this is about being moved and allowing yourself to be moved. Okay, so it's personal. It highlights the contribution of another person. So I asked, you know, where did you learn that? And he said, my parents. You got that? Highlights the contribution. Stories can be short, medium, long. You know, every once in a while I will go in. I had a time like this. I had a time when I was brought in to talk to a number of people where I was the only white person in the room. And how I started was with a very tiny little story. And my story was sharing what my mother taught me, which is there ain't nobody here but us chickens. As soon as I said that, it was a connection. Because we all know we're just in this together and we're going to work this out together. Okay? So you could tell short stories, you can tell medium stories, you can tell long stories. Highlights the contribution of another person to you. You do not exist in a vacuum. You exist as a function of the contribution that other people have made to you in your life. Sometimes it didn't feel like a contribution. Sometimes it felt like you were being chastised. Sometimes it felt like you were being beat up. However, ultimately, when you get away from it, it was a contribution to you. 3, delivers resonant values. So it's not shared value, it's resonant values. When Dave said integrity, he called up loyalty, he called up honor, he called up trust, he called up this whole kind of pantheon of values. So it's critical that we really get that it is resonant and that we resonate. So stand up right where you are. Okay, now I want you to imagine this. So you can imagine things, right? You can imagine things that you didn't imagine before. So if I ask you, imagine an orange sky. Can you imagine an orange sky? Sure. You can imagine that, right? So I'm going to imagine that you have a value. What's one of your values?
Honesty.
Honesty, okay? You have a value. Just pick one in your mind, and that value is a musical note. Honesty equals like that. You get that? Okay, honesty equals that. What's one of your values? Sincerity. It equals a musical note. Okay, so each and every case. Now, here's what I want you to do. First thing, get over yourself. Okay? Second thing, I want you to listen in the middle of the room. We're all going to sing a musical note. Now, here's what is going to happen. What's going to happen is all of the notes are going to bump into each other, and it's going to be a train wreck. That's what musicians call it, a train wreck, okay, where it all clashes with each other. But if you continue to sing the note and you listen for what wants to happen, we will turn it into a chord. You'll literally hear the sound go from noise into chord, into something resonant. Yes? You will have to continue, so continue your note, take another breath and do it, but do not listen to yourself, listen to what wants to happen out here. Sing your note, we'll use the word okay? Sing your note and sing it out fully, but be enough so that you can listen in here, and you will literally hear it curve into a harmonic, okay? So here we go, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nice. That's sweet. Okay, stop. Did you hear it turn? Did you hear it turn? Okay. Who are you, my soprano?
I guess so.
Okay. One more time. So just let it go and then just let it curve. Okay. That was very lovely. Okay. One more time. 1, 2, 3.